You're being called to shed and release all of the self-doubt and fear. That is what is actually sabotaging you. When you get intuitive guidance and intuitive knowledge, it's the mind that tries to pull you back and be like, no, you're actually sabotaging maybe. You're getting out of your plan of what you thought you were going to do. But that is the illusion. That is the mind that is still trying to pull you back from the highest timeline where you have been stepping into. You are completely on a new frequency level. You have been releasing the old, you have been releasing the past, you have been walking with faith, and the more you do, the more these little roadblocks will show through to be released. You're simply becoming aware of it so they can come up to the surface to get released, because once you see it, you no longer feed it. And so instead of numbing and instead of changing the situation to try to run away or externalize your power, asking for guidance to people that are outside of yourself, to situations that are outside of yourself, to individuals that are not vibrating at your own frequency and that are not on your path, that is where you're showing the universe, you're signaling, I do not trust. And that is where your channel blocks, that is where your inner guidance stops flowing in. You are being shown over and over again in the past that the journey was truly to learn to trust yourself, even especially when it doesn't make any sense, because that is the mind that wants to trying to find a logic, a reason based on all that it has known, and so it tries to keep going on the same path, stay on the familiar because it is safe, because it's saying no, we can't. Why would you want to go to the other ways that it's scary and unfamiliar and unknown? What is going to happen? No, this is because all of these limiting beliefs and all that you've ever known, it is the only thing that the mind can grasp onto to try to find a reason, to try to find a solution. The mind wants to make a plan, the mind wants to understand. But the truth is that this is the trick, this is what we're here to overcome. So instead of listening to the mind, tuning in to your inner guidance and flowing, allowing things to just be. Stop trying to controlling your environment, controlling how things are, controlling how things be. Even if you think that it's for your highest good or for the highest good of other people, that it's not. It is not, because people have a free will and they choose based on their life path, and maybe they are simply in your life because they are meant to be there to mirror back to you your own journey. Like, let's say the twin flames, if you were in a relationship where with your twin flame, they were simply mirroring you, the unhealed parts of yourself, and you were mirroring them, the unhealed parts of themselves. So if until you stay in that contract, it is never just about the other person, it is always a divine plan. It is your soul that is putting you there for a reason, and when the lesson has been learned and integrated, it is time for it to dissolve, because these patterns have been brought to the surface so you can release them. And if you keep trying to control the outcome and you keep trying to change this person and explain to be able to stay in that dynamic, change the dynamic so you can stay with this person, that is the self-sabotage, because by explaining, by trying to fix, that is when you're giving your power away and you're telling the universe, I don't trust your plan, I don't trust your path, I am attached to things being the way that they are right now, instead of I trust that the bigger plan will always provide me with everything that is meant for me. So maybe your twin flame was paving the path for you to meet your soulmate. But that is not the point of looking for something, looking for someone. It is asking, yes, what is this teaching me about myself right now? What can I do? What kind of patterns can I release so that I no longer entertain this kind of situations? But at the same time, it's not about trying to fix it so it doesn't happen again. It is simply surrendering and being thankful. Thank you for this lesson. Thank you for this that has been happening for me to grow, elevate, and change, and express the fullness of who I am, releasing those limiting beliefs that I didn't even know I had until they were being brought up by this contract. And so when we reclaim our energy back in this way from the situation, instead of being the victim of the situation, like they treated me this way, what did you do to allow it? Or maybe, you create reality at any given time. So if that was the experience that you were perceiving in your reality, it is because those limiting beliefs or learned survival behaviors were creating this reality. And when you step out of the having to explain, having to fix, having to control the situation, having to change, and you reclaim your power back, anything that doesn't match that frequency will fall away naturally. Excuse me. So if you perhaps attracted this experience, it's because you were vibrating at that frequency of seeking approval, of seeking validation in someone, because you were not fully trusting yourself. And so here's where we come back full circle about self-trust. When you're grounded and you trust your path and you trust yourself, everything naturally aligns to the frequency of self-trust, of faith, of surrendering. So if you attract controlling people or situations that require you to control the outcomes and control, put your sense of self, your sense of validation on achievements, on outcomes, on I'm only good when I reach this goal, that is coming from the root cause of self-trust. If you are attracting situations where people feel like they have to guide you or teach you something or tell you how to be, it's because you're subconsciously attracting this dynamic by not fully trusting yourself. If you know what you're doing, who you are, what you stand for, and do not doubt yourself, releasing self-doubt, these people would never sense the opening of the path where they can give you any teaching or something. Or if they do, you're like, no, thank you, I actually do this way. That's it. And we will not fit into the dynamic. We're not going to seek for validation, external validation. And so your path is unique. You are completely unique. You're here for a reason, and that reason is to awaken your unique gift, and only you can bring that to the world. Your own frequency, your own distinct vibration, broadcasting like an antenna, like a channel into the world, like the lighthouse that you are. The world needs your light. And if you dim your light to try to ask other people, is this okay? Is this enough? How much should I dim it to make you comfortable? You are dimming your light, you're giving your power away. And so it serves no one. It only reinforces this power dynamic. It gives your power away, and people that are not in their power want to take it from you. And so it just creates this codependent pattern where it's a control war, because both the people involved are not in their power. When you reclaim your power to yourself and you trust fully your signal to broadcast into the universe, you trust fully your light, and you're like, whoever is uncomfortable with my light, it's not my problem. I don't need to fix it. I don't need to explain why I am the way I am. I simply am. Whoever resonates and vibes with the light is welcome here. You can come, you can go as you please. I do not change myself. I do not give you the power to change who I am to make you more comfortable.